you know what this motherfucker named Stephen A. Smith said?
Uh-oh, what?
Corey Holcomb goes in on Stephen A. Smith and Qerim and their coverage of the Von Miller abuse allegations.
Okay, let me tell you something. It's this cat. His name is Stephen A. Smith. We all know who the dude is.
Oh, yep.
Stephen A. Smith is a boy. He's a boy for his boss. B-O-S-S.
What did he do now? What did he do?
I want everybody to understand what's happening. See, Dana White hit his girl on camera in front of everybody. Right. The whole world saw it.
Club or something, right? Was it?
Stephen A. Boy Smith went on TV talking about, oh, Dana is a friend of mine. And even though he made this one mistake, he made it like Dana was a good guy who made a mistake.
New Year's Eve last year, Dana White was in an incident with his wife where there was a physical altercation. And the way that they covered it, compared to what they do to everybody else, ridiculous.
Oh, Dana is a friend of mine. And even though he made this one mistake, he made it like Dana was a good guy who made a mistake. I'm just trying to abbreviate what happened.
Notice the somber tone that he takes. I mentioned this in his coverage of Josh Giddey. He has this apologetic tone when he talks about certain people.
Well, this week, Von Miller, one of the players, Super Bowl winner. He was when he won the Super Bowl in Denver, he was one of the best players of the game. Von Miller had drama about some shit that was out. Apparently, him and his girl got into it, and Von Miller said, and it was a report out there that Von Miller hit his pregnant girlfriend. There's an arrest warrant for Von Miller for hitting his pregnant girlfriend.
Right on the heels of the Josh Giddey case, which they said, oh, we don't have all the facts, so we got to be careful on how we cover this. This is a very sensitive topic.
I've heard there's reports where the girls say, no, that ain't what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It got heated, but that ain't what happened. The girl wasn't beat up. She wasn't beat up because they just showed her beat up. It was just, they put that on ESP Racist N. ESP Racist N. They put that on there. Do you know what this motherfucker named Stephen A. Smith said?
Uh-oh, what?
Don't hit women.
Oh, I had somebody do that on my show one time.
Don't hit women. You just saw Dana White hit the woman and you took up for him.
Yep.
But when it's the brother, the girl said he didn't hit me. Your whole thing was, don't hit women. Don't put your hands on no woman. Now, I remember one day Stephen A. Smith said something about women and the drama they bring on themselves, and they canceled his ass. Right. They made him lick ho to come back on the show. And ever since then, he realizes how to be a good boy. A good boy. Where when Dana White hit his girl in front of everybody, it's, oh, this is my friend. He's not a bad guy. But Von Miller, it was a report out about him. Yeah. And your whole thing was, don't put your hands on no woman.
Because
Yes.
he's the leader. You know,
Yes.
and he's the leader of men. So to your point, not just what's enacted to a fighter, but maybe a little stiffer.
Sure.
Because he's the head. I just want to say a couple of things. They talked about being drinking heavily.
Yeah.
When you're under the influence, not shining moments, often people don't make their best decisions. So in that sense, it's a cautionary tale.
Yep.
And in terms of it being
Molly says it's a cautionary tale.
an isolated incident, I've known Dana since I was 22. I have the utmost respect for him.
Yes.
And I don't judge people by their worst moment. I agree with you on that punishment part. And the other piece that I just
They don't judge people by their worst moment.
want to say, as a woman, it was also his wife's hands on him. So no one should be putting their hands on anyone.
Okay.
Male, female, female.
Could that have been possibly the case in the Von Miller situation?
Well, like I said, you're absolutely right. I don't disagree. I have nothing to add other than I just think it's important that if you're going to sit on this platform, you owe it to your audience to be honest, to be honest and forthcoming. Dana White is not just somebody I know in sports, nor you. He's a friend.
Yeah.
I love him. And I just wish the best for him and his family. And, you know, he knows, he knows how wrong he was to do this. And he knows that we're on this air. He knew ahead of time because I reached out to him to let him know I would be talking about this.
Oh, he gets advance notice.
This morning. He knows that he crossed a line that he has never crossed before and that he swears he will never cross again. And he's incredibly ashamed of himself. And that's just where we are right now.
We've had plenty of discussions internally with Ari, ESPN. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about this, you know.
This was the apology.
But it happened. And I have to deal with it. And what is my punishment? Here's my punishment. I got to walk around for however long I live. Is it 10.4 years or is it another 25 years? And I gotta, this is how I'm labeled now. My other punishment is that, you know, I'm sure a lot of people, whether it be media, fighters, friends, acquaintances who had respect for me might not have respect for me now. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life that are way more of a punishment than what? I take a 30-day, 60-day absence? That's not a punishment to me. The punishment is that I did it, and now I have to deal with it.
Really?
Man, you and Molly are a disgrace to the culture. People smile with you. Dana White ain't your friend. Dana White is an that made the champion, the heavyweight champion from Africa, leave the UFC because he didn't want to pay him fairly.
Francis Ngannou.
The brother from Africa who said he finna box, you on him and told him how much of a mistake he gonna make. This is Dana White. And if you ask me, he beat the big goofy motherfucker. What's his name?
Tyson
Big
Fury.
heavyweight champ name. Tyson Fury. He beat Tyson Fury. It's crooked boxing. Crooked boxing didn't give the big African his title that he won because he knocked that boy on his.
He did.
And that boy was cheating, throwing elbows during the fight. Tyson Fury was. This is who, and Dana White, this go back to Dana White, how much of a he is. I remember when Floyd and the one boy was finna fight, Conor McGregor. Yeah. You dogged out Floyd, told him he too little, all that. He beat Conor McGregor and made him rich. Ain't nobody get rich off Dana White. What Dana White pay them fighters is a disgrace. So if this is your friend, Steve.
Yeah, I got firsthand knowledge of that. I used to work at a nightclub that the UFC was hosting a party at, an after-fight party. And we were at the front door when all the celebrities came in. And then later, all the fighters that had fought on the event, you know, the people who keep the lights on, when they came up, none of their names were on the list for the party. That right there showed me how the fighters are respected in the UFC. You could keep these people as an afterthought when they are the main event. They should be there to celebrate. You know, of course, some of them, you know, was all lumped up and stuff because they had fought that night. But yeah, this was a huge UFC event. They came down there just to enjoy themselves after the event, and they were not even considered. I had to call up and get somebody to come down and say, yo, these fighters can come to a UFC event. That's crazy. Hopefully conditions have improved somewhat.
What Dana White pay them fighters is a disgrace. So if this is your friend, Stephen A., I look at the company you keep. I look at the people you claim as your friend, Stephen A. You a boy. You a boy. You bow to cake shit. But that's what you got to do to keep your lifestyle going. I hope that money make you feel better. You should take it out the bank and lay on it, then put it back in it. Because you a cake for that shit. Von Miller, don't put your hands on women. Dana White, he's my friend. because Dana White's your friend. Dana White don't be around motherfuckers who look like you. Get your cake out of here. You embarrassing yourself. You bad for the culture, dog. Real talk.
Yeah. This is the hypocrisy that we've been pointing out over the past few weeks here. It started off when we were talking about the Josh Giddey situation and how they covered that and all the backlash that came with that as far as Stephen A., you know, talking about, why are you all talking about Malika and, you know, all these people that don't have the facts and you all don't want to say these things. Yeah, go ahead out there and say these things and I make sure that Josh Giddey has your address and information so that he can sue you. Well, what about Von Miller? Because now that things are coming out in the way they are and the girlfriend has recanted her story, regardless of what the situation may or may not be, have you given your information to Von Miller so that he can sue you? Because the same rule applies, right? Nah, you probably haven't done that. Because it's rules for thee and not rules for me. What I say, do as I say, not as I do. Making all these exceptions for Dana White when that was ridiculously swept under the rug. Like, I thought he was going to have to step down after that tape came out. As many organizations hover around major sports, and to see a man that was actually in the act on video, it went viral. That's my friend. I know he's not like this. This is just a lapse in judgment or whatever the hell he said. Yeah, it looks crazy. It looks crazy, but this double standard, if we can do anything from online, hopefully we can erase this double standard that exists. We can erase this double standard in how black athletes are reported on versus everybody else. Because it seems like everybody else gets consideration. And I know they're feeling the heat over there. I know they're feeling the heat because they're having to, you know, every day pick up their face. They're having to every day make a correction every day. But yeah, man, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. This is Faucette Media.